Good morning. Welcome to our garden. Today, we're going to plant garlic. But first, let's gather the supplies. So come on. And we're going to plant it right in this area. But first, we need to clear off these things. Now, I used to have strawberries in this area, but about mid-August, it was so dry because the whole garden season starting in February was the driest year since 1999. And the strawberries right here in the middle really suffered. So I transplanted them over to the edge where the strawberries do best. It seems to hold water better. So let's take advantage of that and plant the garlic here. Now, garlic grows from cloves, like this one, not from seed. So that means that they are a clone. They're a copy of the parent plant. Bigger ones are said to grow bigger heads. That's what that whole clump of garlic is called. It's called a head. And smaller ones are said to grow smaller heads. Now in August, when I moved the strawberries, I went ahead and sheet mulched this area with cardboard and wood mulch. But I didn't put it on real thick because I wasn't planning to do it, so I didn't have enough. So I'd planned today to go ahead, hang on, where's my tool? And take this dibber and punch it through the cardboard, and it should have been fine to plant the garlic. But I noticed squirrels have been digging, destroying the cardboard. So let's go ahead and pull it up. Most of it's broken down anyway. I only have 32 cloves, so I don't need this whole area. I'm going to go ahead and separate the big cloves and the small cloves, and we can compare what size heads we get. I do plan to use them all. Now here, we plant our garlic mid-October to mid-November. So October 15th to November 15th. Today is November 6th, so this is the perfect time. At the end of October, it was in the 80s, which is just insane. That's why these garlic have started to sprout, because they were in the garage. So let's go ahead and get them in the ground. You saw that's about how far apart I planted them, about 3 inches. Now this tool is called a dibber. It's really popular in England. I really like it. I use it a lot. Now you're going to put it root side down. It's this little flat part. See? Right there? How flat that is? And then the pointy end goes up, like right here. See, here's one that's already sprouted up. You don't have to plant them really deep. So make your hole about that deep, because some of the soil is going to kind of fall back in. And really, you just want to plant it right under the top of the soil, right below the soil. Now the squirrels can be tempted to dig in this nice soft soil. They're not wanting to eat the garlic. They're just wanting to use that soft soil. So we got to protect this. Let's go get the dome. That's a perfect fit. Now, I don't recommend this brand. A brick tore it really easy this summer. But there's another brand that I would prefer. Let me show it to you. This one. This is smaller, but this is so strong. I bought it because it gave some strawberry plants to our neighbor's little boy, and I didn't want the squirrels stealing his strawberries. So this came with 2, and I gave him 1, and I kept 1. It's really strong, and the brand is, look, right here. NUVUE. I highly recommend it. I wish I had bought that in the big size. I bought that big one first. Now, it's not cheap, but neither was that other one. If you want something that stores easily, because this stores flat. Now, I did have to put these rods in there. But if you have the money and you want something that stores easy, I highly recommend this brand. Now let's hammer in some stakes, some landscape staples to hold this in place. Now it came with 4 of these stakes, and the other brand came with 4, much better quality than this. But I prefer to use these landscape staples. I found it works best if I put 2 in the corners and 1 in the middle. So that needs 12. That's what works best for me. And these holes look small, but I was surprised this summer that little baby birds, they could get through it. The baby finch could, but then they couldn't figure out how to get back out. It's another reason I like that other brand better. Oh, I was wrong. It comes with 8 tent stakes. I don't plan to water. I'm just going to let the rain take care of it. Now, if the soil had been bare, I would have added mulch. But it already has mulch in that area. Now the next 2 weeks, it's not going to drop below 30. Most days it's going to warm up. Like today it's in the 60s. So if the garlic shoots up above the ground, I'll come back and mulch it with some tiny leaves. And I've already mulched 1/4 of the garden in leaves if you haven't seen it yet. Here, look. My husband Dale, he's been busy collecting bags of leaves for me. We now have a mountain. I have 3/4 more of the garden to cover. Tomorrow I'm going to work in the front garden, and I'm going to use wood mulch. Because in the front, those leaves will just blow into the busy street. Now remember, close the door because the skunk will sleep inside. This must be a microclimate. These petunias survived several nights in the 20s. And these raspberries have some new flower buds. I'm not even sure there's enough bees around to pollinate them. So we'll see what happens. I guess Dale's been painting. Now, the next time you tune in, I think we're going to be planting lettuce down in the grow room. Because the last few winters, my ground has never frozen, so I want to be prepared if I'm able to plant more lettuce. And if I can't, if it gets too cold, then I want to try growing it in the basement. I want to try growing it in the basement anyway. So I think that's going to be our next video. Thank you for visiting our garden. See you later. Bye-bye.